Welcome to Microsoft Defender for Endpoint from Zero to Hero, Module 2.12, Device Auto-Tagging via Logic Apps. Please make sure you watch my additional videos on how you can deploy tags via Portal, Intune or Grow Policy, but I need to say this one here is my favorite. I will show initially just a quick overview about the Logic Apps, and then I will dive straight into the demo and show all the steps how you can create a workflow, and then how you can run the workflow to apply the tags, and how you can remove the tags via the same workflow as well. Anyway, let's dive into it. If you are new into the Logic Apps world, here there is a little definition before we start. Azure Logic Apps is a cloud platform where you can create and run automated workflows with little or no code. This is exactly what I'm going to do. I will create a workflow with no code, and then from there I will be able to run the workflow to add tags or to remove tags from my devices. The only small bad news is, as probably you know, every time when we are dealing with Azure, things are not for free. There is a cost for us to use the Logic Apps. The best thing to do is to go into the pricing calculator. If you are new, just search on Bing or Google for Azure pricing calculator, and then you will land into this page. Okay, from here, very simple, just type, just a second. Yeah, just search for Logic Apps, click in there, and then, yeah, there you go. I will see the Logic Apps in here. Again, it depends in which data center you are about to create your workflow. In my case, because I'm based in Ireland, yeah, let me hopefully find here. Yeah, let me pick the North Europe. Okay, that's fine. Here is the one of the most important option here for you to select. You can go to the standard plan, or you can go to the base consumption. If you go to the standard, you need to select, what's the size of the platform to run that, and then there is a kind of expensive enough cost. The good news is, if you select by consumption, it means every time when you run the workflow, there is a little price on top of that. But the very good news is, for the first, let me see here, yeah, for the first 4,000 actions, actually you don't pay anything, okay? And then part of that, if you are running, let's say I'm running, I don't know, 1,000 of those workflows every day, and then, yeah, I might be, yeah, it's still pretty much zero because I'm not, going over those 4,000. Anyway, if you're building a lab, and then, don't worry because you're not going to pay anything. And if you are create some complex workflows running thousands and thousands of those workflows every day or every month, and then there is a cost on that. For me, I will stick with the consumption because of course it's only for the demo. Anyway, that's part number one. Now let's dive into the workflow creation. Okay, step number one, I need to say you need to have a subscription, okay, related to your tenant, just to buy a bit of time. I did that already. And then if you are really new into the Azure world, the place to go is portal.azure.com. Okay, when you get in there, for me, because I've been using the Logic Apps, and then, is already here. Otherwise, you can just click here on the top, just type Logic Apps, and then you can select. Okay, let's dive into it. If I select Logic Apps, okay, now I have, I think, 2 or 3 workflows I already created to do the Defender for Endpoint device isolation. I have another one here to do the ransomware red alert. But anyway, don't worry about that. I want to create something from the scratch. Just to have a bit of, to guide my thoughts when I'm running this demo. And here is the cookbook, okay, you can use, and this is the steps I'm going to follow to create the Logic Apps. First, I need to create the Logic Apps, itself, select the subscription, select where I want to run and store these Logic Apps and so on. And then I will start with a blank workflow. And then from there, here's where the things are really important. And then from here, I need to select the objects. First one is the schedule. And then if I want to run, let's say the tagging every minute, every 5 minutes, every 1 hour. Let's say today is the day where when I'm onboarding, I don't know, thousands of devices. And then by the time the devices are registered into the portal, every 10 minutes I could have a workflow running to target those new devices and add the tag over them. Okay, this is why here I can set the schedule. And then when it comes to add the tag itself, I need to find the Microsoft Defender ATP. If you're not familiar, ATP used to be the old name for Defender for Endpoint. And yeah, on Logic Apps is still, Microsoft still referring to the old name. And then from there, I need to build advanced hunting query to actually find those devices before adding the tag. And then you can find the query I'm using in this demo on the video description below. And then finally we'll add a control, and then for each of the devices the query finds on the advanced hunting query, and then finally I want to add the query over those device ID that is retrieved from the query. It looks a little bit complicated, but now let me show all the steps. Is not you know, too complicated, to be honest. Anyway, let's dive into it. Back here to the Logic Apps, the first thing I need to do, click on Add, and then start the creation from here. Okay, let me just click again. Okay. Okay, in my case, of course, you need a subscription already populated into the Azure. I did that already. And then from here, yeah, I have a single subscription. I have a couple of resource groups. Let me stick with the lab. Here is the place, you know, whatever the name you want to add. Let me just MDE, let's say auto tag. You know, the name is not really a big deal. Okay, that's fine. Now, as I was talking a few minutes ago, here is the place where you can select where you want to kind of, you know, store and run this workflow from. Okay, I will stick with Europe. And then here is very important. Okay, the standard is that costly enough price, okay, you will pay. In my case, I will stick with consumption, and then I can have those 4,000 runs for free, and then I will pay something like 0.00012 you know, cents. But is, you know, it's not too expensive, or it's pretty much for free, I would say. Okay, that's good. And believe or not, that's it. Let me just see the next one, the tag. Yeah, I don't want to add any Azure tag in here. And finally, let me review and create the Logic Apps. Of course, now the object is pretty much empty, and what I need to do, the next step is to dive into the Logic App and then start building. Oops, I forgot to click here on create. And then I need to dive into the Logic App object and then start building the workflow I was talking about a few seconds ago. Okay, that looks good. Let me go into the resource now. Just click in here. And then just to drive again my thoughts and to make sure you don't lose any, you don't miss any step. Okay, now the next step is basically click on the create a blank Logic Apps, and then I need to search for a schedule, and here where I can set the time to run every 5 minutes or so on. Okay, is it still coming? And then, okay, that's good. Here is the place, you know, very simple. Click on the blank Logic App, click in there. And now here is the place where I'm using the Logic Apps Designer. And of course, after that, you can come, you know, how many times do you want? Do you need to come here to redo or to, let's say, to change your Logic Apps? Okay, the first one I need to, yeah, because in my case, I've been testing that before just to get ready for this demo. The recent objects are already here, and then I could, you know, just very easy to click on the schedule. In your case, if you're doing that for the first time, you need to type, just, you know, make sure you type schedule, or, you know, just the beginning of the word. Okay, and then select the schedule. Okay, and then here, because I want to run this workflow every day, every month, every 5 minutes, and then, you know, make sure select this option here. Okay, and then here is a place where I can say as I was saying before, if I'm onboarding thousands of or hundreds of devices, I want to run this workflow every, I don't know, let's say every 30 minutes. Any new device will get a tag straight away. Okay, that's good. Now let's start building the workflow to add actually the tag. Let me just have a quick look in here again. The next step is for me now to add the object called Microsoft Defender ATP, and then from there I need to get the advanced hunting. Okay, let's go back. If I click now on the next step, click in here, and then same story. If you are coming here for the first time, just make sure you type Microsoft Defender ATP. In my case, because I've done that before, I can simply click in here. Now I have a big list of all the resources under the ATP, and what I'm looking here is the advanced hunting. Okay, make sure you select advanced hunting. Okay, so far it's looking good. Now, very important, here is the resource where I need to have now a query to actually find those devices into my tenant, or find those devices into my Defender for Endpoint, and then by the time I can find them, the next step is to run the auto tagging. To do that, there are now, of course, the advanced hunting is so powerful. You can search for, so many different things. But a very simple query I have here, and as I said before, please find that on the video description below. Here is just a quick kind of, text. Here is where things really starts. Device info, where device name has, and then here are all the servers I want to target on this lab, okay? And then same story, I start with the same server, or device name has here, and then, if you have 2 servers or 1,000 server, yeah, no problem at all. And then I want to summarize those devices and then eventually display them and providing the device ID. A good practice is, before adding this query straight into the logic apps, and then maybe you will get some headache because the query is not working well, the best thing to do is dive into the security.microsoft.com and let's test that query before implementing into the device, into the logic apps. Okay, and here make sure again security.microsoft.com, expand hunting, and then in here and then in here, make sure you select advanced hunting. Click in there. You might have already some other queries. Make sure in here you create a blank, fresh query, and then is a time where I will paste that query and then run to see if I can really locate my devices. If I'm happy with the result and the query is working fine, and then I will go back to my logic apps and then basically do from there. Okay. Okay, in here I can click on create a new query in editor. Let me just click in there, and then I will be able to paste. Okay, finally, a bit of delay. Anyway, finally I'm here. Now I can paste the content from here and then finally run. 1 second, not sure if I really copy the query. Copy. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, anyway, here's my query now, and what I need to do, let me just put this a little bit above. Okay, and then what I need to do now is pretty much just run the query. Click in here. Now the device, the advanced hunting is going after my devices, and yeah, good news, no error. I have here device 2012-04, server 2016-06, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 servers. Again, just to make sure you you are following my thoughts, if I go back to my devices, and then those devices, they are fully onboarded, fully registered into my device inventory on my Defender for Endpoint. Okay, there you go. Here are my devices. I have a couple of tags already. Okay, as you can see, Windows Server, File Server, Win Server, Azure Servers, and so on. but the tag I'm going to add calls critical servers. Okay, as you can see, there is no critical server tag at the moment. Anyway, let's go back to my logic apps. So far, so good. And now I can come here and paste exactly that query because I know the query is working. Okay, that's job done. Now let me go back to my cookbook. This is done. Now I need to add the control, because for every device found into the list, I want to add a control and then add the query. Okay, now I just need to search for control and then select for each, and then for each, and then finally the result. Okay, let's go back to here. Let me add a new step. Okay, yeah, again, if you never used that before, just type control, search for control. In my case, it's already there. And then let me just click on control. Now make sure again, click on or select for each. Okay, click in there. Okay, that's good. Now if I go back to here, the next step now for each, I need to select results. Okay, the results coming from the query. Click in there. If I click in here, again, if it's your first time, just search for results. In my case, it's already here, and then click on results. Okay, so far so good. In this step, I'm searching for the devices, and then I will present the results. Now I need to decide what to do with those results, with those devices. Click on add an action, click in there. And now again, if I look into my cookbook, I need to search for Microsoft Defender ATP, and then finally there is an action I can execute called tag machines or machine tags machine. Okay, that's fine. Let me go back. In here, same story. If it's your first time, click on Microsoft Defender, search for that, or just click on Microsoft Defender, in my case, in here. Now there are loads of things, and what I need to do is just search for tag, and then this is the object I need to select. Machines, tag, machine. Click in there, and believe or not, oh yeah, now there is one little thing missing. From there, I need to select the device ID, and then I can decide if I want to add a tag or remove the tag. Okay, device ID actually is all together here. Let me go back. If I go in here, same story. If it's your first time, search. Otherwise, for me, it's already here, device ID. That's pretty much it. Now here is the place where I can simply type whatever the tag I want, as I did before, Azure servers or Win servers or whatever. In this demo, I will call critical, let's say I want to add for all of those servers that are really critical for the business, and I want to add as a critical server. And then finally, here, as I said before, I have an option to add the tag, and I have an option to remove the tag. If you're wondering why should I remove the tag, yeah, maybe the server is not critical server anymore, or maybe you are adding a tag for hypercare after the onboarding, and I don't know, after 1 month, after 2 months, you want to remove the tags and so on. Anyway, for now I want to add the tag, and believe or not, that's pretty much it. Now let me save this workflow, and then I'm good to go. As I showed a few seconds ago, the critical SRV tag was not assigned, was not there. Now let me run. To do that, of course, now I could just wait for 30 minutes, and then eventually the system will run for me. Just for me not to kind of get confused on my lab, I will set for 1 month, because I want to run manually, just to make sure everything works fine. Okay, let me save again. And now let's push the button to run this failure tag. Okay. No, yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, now let me just run the trigger. If I click on run, yeah, it usually takes a few seconds to run, and then I will get here some tick box as green or red if the workflow runs well or not. Let's see. Yeah, and believe it or not, all looking good for the moment. As you can see, yeah, here the advanced hunting work well, found the machines and so on. But of course, to make sure it really works, what I need to do is now to go back to my Defender for Endpoint portal. As you can see, no tag yet. This is, you know, from the previous one. Now let me refresh the page. Sometimes it can take, you know, a few seconds for the tags to be available, but let's see if things work straight away. And then when the tags are here, I just want to show how I can remove the tags as well. What I will do is just go back to the workflow, change the action, instead add, I will remove, save, and then run the workflow again to have everything sorted. Okay, it's coming a bit slow, but anyway, I'm getting there. Okay, yeah, there we go. And yeah, I can really celebrate. All the tags are here. Okay, all 5 servers, critical server, and so on. Yeah, thanks to the advanced hunting I used to find the devices, and thanks to the workflow, it worked. Okay, now just to finish off this video, let me go quickly back to my app Logic Apps Designer, and let me just go back to here. Yeah, let me exit there because I run. And again, you know, if you want to, I don't know, maybe next day, next month or so on, you need to make some changes, just go into the Logic Apps, and then the place there are, you know, other controls here you can use as well. But to make changes into the workflow here on the left, very simple, Logic App Designer. Okay, click in there. Then again, I will see now all my workflows I have built so far, and now I just need to select the Logic app I created to do the auto tagging and then make the changes. Okay, in this case, sorry, I already selected the device auto tag. Okay, now what I need to do is, yeah, the query is going to be the same. Of course, maybe I want to remove 3 servers. I want to remove the tag from 3 servers. Then I could change the advanced hunting. In my case, I want to remove from all servers. Then very simple. The only thing I need to do is come here, change to remove. Believe or not, that's it. Click on save. And now let me run it again. Click in here and then let me run. Okay, same story. It's going to take a few seconds. And then I should get a quick dashboard in here. All green or red. Hopefully all green. And then it means, yeah, believe or not, 1 second. Yeah, everything's looking good. Same story. If I go back, the tags are all here, the critical servers. Now I need one more time just to refresh. And then all the tags should be gone. Okay, if you don't want the auto tag to run kind of, you know, automatically, what you can do is just remove the first scheduling, remove, and then run the workflow exactly what I'm doing here manually, whatever you need to add the tags or to remove the tags. Okay, devices are coming, 12 devices, and if I go back in here, just a quick zoom. Yeah, and then one more time. As you can see now, all the devices I had before as critical servers, yeah, as I set the tag is gone, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Anyway, this is what I want to show now to complete this journey when it comes to device auto tagging. I already show via portal, via grow policy, or via registry, via Intune, and then the last one via Logic apps. You, of course, feel free to pick whatever works better for you. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share today on device auto tagging via Logic apps. If you enjoyed this video, please give a quick like, subscribe my channel, also follow me on LinkedIn, and see you on the next module. Thanks for watching.